My name is Luke Mar, and this is Hot Mode. And today on Hot Mode, we're coming to you with your July 2023 Fashion Month roast and review. Listen, we have a lot of celebrities to get through, but if you are a channel member, remember there is a channel members only version. If you're looking to become a channel member, just go next to the subscribe button, press join, and that will bring you to where you need to be. It's $1 a month. It's easy peasy. You get a little extra Hot Mode content. You're welcome, and thank you in advance. For those that are not channel members, listen, you're still gonna get a good video, don't you worry. So let's look at Alexandra Daddrio. Now, she wore an Oscar de la Renta look. It is a strapless sheer gown, like it's fully sheer, except for the fact that there is silver sequins that have been embroidered in this sort of wave-ish motif, and in between these little stripes is the actual sheer elements and sheer paneling, which creates a sort of flowy but also futuristic look, which I initially thought that this dress was Iris van Herpen, to be completely honest. I was like, oh wow, that's cool, like I haven't seen that Iris van Herpen dress before, but no, it's Oscar de la Renta, which I like even more because I think, again, it proves that Oscar can do really beautiful, really elegant, very sort of old world fashion, but at the same time, Fernanda Garcia and Laura Kim also know absolutely how to handle a look that is a little bit more fun and modern and cool, but at the same time still has the silhouette that is very much so that classic, beautiful, fitted Oscar gown. I just like the fact that, again, it also is using sort of the sequins as a way to sort of create a modern, sort of risque style, and that Alexandra Daddrio also is just very much so into doing that as well. I like the fact that the waves get a little bit tighter at the waist. Again, that helps to sort of really focus your eye to it. Even though she's covering it with her hands, you can still see that. And then they slowly sort of fan out as we get to around the crotch, sort of pelvic area, and then it gets a little bit bigger because that helps to sort of exaggerate the fact that you have a sort of skirt that is flowing down, it's moving, it's grooving. I really love this dress. I think it's really exciting. I think it's really good. She's also wearing a little Tag Hour watch, which to each their own, you know what I mean? Live your best life. I'm not a watch girl, but if you are, fully for you. Next up, we had Ariana Grande at the Ralph Lauren Wimbledon Polo Experience. So listen, I like the look on her. I know that Ariana Grande is a persona non grata currently, but I saw what the man looks like. Not for me, you know what I mean? That's what I'll say on it. But as for this look, it is for me. I like this little sweater with the short sleeve. I think it's cute. It's a beautiful mohair. I think the gray is lovely. It's probably a little bit too hot, in my opinion. I'm sure the Ralph Lauren box was, maybe she wasn't sitting in the box, but if she was sitting in the box, it's usually air conditioned, so I think she was fine. But I also love this sort of beautiful wool skirt. It's a light wool. It's probably a stretch wool of some sort, but I love the fact that she's wearing this like full sort of skirt. It's not a maxi skirt, but I mean, it's a midi skirt. Like there's a lot of skirt there. I think that it ties into sort of British and Wimbledon Savile Row tailoring sort of styles. Like that is a wool that you would find on Savile Row. It's something that a tailor would use to create that very classical British English suit. I also like the fact that she's wearing her little baseball hat. I think that adds in to what's going on there. It looks really, really lovely. I'm into it. It works. I'm sold on this look. I think it's very British gal moments. I also like the fact that Ralph Lauren as a brand has always been into British tailoring and things like that and brought over elements, so I think, again, it's cool in that way. Then we have Jonathan Bailey, who she's standing next to. I like the suit jacket. Intriguingly enough, I think it's almost like a burlap. I'm intrigued by the sort of panels that run down it. There's like a belt to hold it in place. I don't really understand it, but I think it's intriguing as a suit jacket. Then there's a linen pant, and I'm sure a linen shirt and a matching tie as well, which I really like. I think that it plays on this whole idea of tans. I think it works. I'm sold on it. I'm good. Next up, we have Beyoncé in Tiffany. This is one of the custom looks that Tiffany did for Beyoncé. It is full of jewels, and it almost looks like a bunch of necklaces and chains turned into a dress and placed on top of a sheer sort of fabric that then is sort of slit, so it almost exposes different parts of the body. It's also very short, which I also kind of like. I like the fact that it shows a lot of thigh and leg, which is very Beyoncé-centric. But it's really, really intriguing because Tiffany jewelry, yes, makes sense. We think about that a lot. You know, live, laugh, love, Tiffany. Tiffany usually doesn't make clothes. You know what I mean? Like the closest you get to like Tiffany clothes is like an Elsa Peretti who used to work on Halston stuff and like would adorn Halston clothes with jewelry, but in reality she wasn't working for Tiffany, I think, at the time that she was doing that as well. It's really not something that's super common to see from Tiffany. It makes sense that Beyonce of all people would get it, but it's just intriguing to me that Tiffany said, oh yeah, we're gonna get in the custom fashion game. Yeah, we're gonna make some looks, don't worry. And so Beyonce was like, okay. And so this is the result. I don't think it's miraculous, over the top, ridiculous, but I do think A, getting Tiffany to make you custom clothes, miraculous, over the top. And I also think the fact that it's pretty jewelry-esque, jewelry heavy, I think is smart of Tiffany to play on. And at the same time, the way that it exposes the body, it's short, it sort of feels performance wear, and it fits her very, very well, is great. I am pro Beyonce Tiffany clothing camp. Next up, we have Catherine, the Princess of Wales. She was on Wimbledon duty this year. I feel like she's usually on Wimbledon duty, but... So this look is a Roland Mouret dress that she wore to the finale of Wimbledon, and she's actually giving the trophy to Carlos Alcaraz, who won Wimbledon's in the men's singles. I watched the match. I enjoy tennis. That's the one sport that I'm like, rah, rah, sis, boom, bah. And it was good. It was really, really good. I really liked Carlos's shirt. I couldn't stop staring at it. It's just, I liked the seamage going on it. I thought it was very intriguing. And Kate was sitting, so like, I understand why this is wrinkled. I do. I understand it. But like, I also can't not look at it. In the grand scheme of things, I kind of wish that maybe they had like, I don't know, had a little bottle of wrinkle release spray for Kate just to do quick change, maybe like a second dress, because I just think the wrinkles are a little off to look at for the Princess of Wales. Kate has grown on me. You know, I don't dislike Kate. I know people are like, you don't like her. It's like, that's not true. I like Kate. She's fine. She's good. She's the goody two-shoes of the family. I get it. But I think the flounce here, also again, like, just not understanding. I think that's a Roland Mouret thing. You gotta take it, but it doesn't mean you have to want to take it. It's a non-consensual flounce. In the grand scheme of things, it's very Kate. I think the green makes sense for Wimbledon, yada yada. It's not fine. It's there, and so we will deal with it. I wish this dress had like a security team, you know, just to like primp it, prep it, proper it for this moment, so I don't really have to look at the wrinkles and the crinkles and the dinkles. Next up, we have Cillian Murphy, and he went full Oppenheimer, but not at all Oppenheimer. He's wearing a custom, or at least a possibly custom Saint Laurent suit. It is a pinstripe in black and gray. It's not super crazy, you know what I mean? I think that it's an intriguing sort of style. Pinstripe pant, pinstripe jacket, nothing crazy, nice lapel, easy peasy. I like the fit of the pant. It's not too tight. It's not like Eddie Slimane, Saint Laurent tight, but it's also, you know, giving him a little bit of room to breathe. There's a black leather boot. I really like it. It has a little bit of a subtle heel. Very sold. If you're going to do Saint Laurent, do Saint Laurent, you know what I mean? But the thing I think that's really intriguing out of everything, and really is funny to me considering the sort of like masculine hype about Oppenheimer, and I would like to be a Barbenheimer, so everybody knows it's on the record, is the fact that he wore this sheer black shirt, so it exposes a little bit of torso, and instead of like a tie, it's just those little metal pieces on the end of the string, and I like it. I'm into it. I'm sold on it. It's different. It's weird. I think that it's Cillian Murphy sort of being like, yeah, there are these like very like masculine expectations of Oppenheimer, but like I'm still gonna do my thing. I don't really care. And I love that. I'm into that. And I think he's a star. So, big fan. Will be seeing the film. Next up, we have Dua Lipa, who is wearing Bottega Veneta. This is a fully sheer crystal style. And it's not something that we see a whole lot of from Bottega at all, really, in a more recent sort of era between Mathieu Bazzi and Daniel Lee. I never really realized how much those rhyme, but they do. The thing that I love is it's a beautiful mesh dress, but if we look really, really close, we can actually see it almost looks like wire fence. You know how in certain wire fences, like, they twist around each other and that creates that sort of trellisy grid motif within the fence, because fences now have motifs. But that's kind of what I think this mesh style has done. It's just done it with crystals, and it's really, really beautiful. It fits her very, very well. There is a crystal brief that is actually opaque instead of the dress, which is fully sort of sheer. That sits right above the sort of crotch area, covers everything up. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. You know, it's necessary. It's a necessary evil, in my opinion. Not that I'm like, oh my god, make women be fully nude underneath dresses, but like, it does take away the whole nude illusion element. But again, it's a necessary evil. I get it. I understand it. As for the fact that it's fully sheer and there's no sort of covering of the nip area. More power to you if that's what you want to do, Dua Lipa. She is a vision in the dress. It fits her really, really well. I think, again, like a mesh is a sort of harder fabric or textile to get to actually fit super duper well. So the fact that it does fit her, it comes along the waist area, the hips pretty nicely, and then we can also see even the fact that she like has her knees sort of bent, it helps to create a little subtle flare there as well. We can also see that there's a pair of chrome silver pumps that she is wearing too. I presume maybe they're Bottega, but I don't really know. I like the fact that at the bottom, the hem of the dress, there is a subtle little ending of the actual mesh instead of it being like a harsh cut across. It's the mesh sort of finishes itself out really, really nicely. Overall, I think it's really easy to do sheer dress. I think that this is a nice entry into the lexicon of the sheer dress. I think Dua Lipa looks good. I think it's a nice, like, tasteful take on a sheer sort of style as well. She looks good. Next up, we have Emily Blunt. She served it 100%. Now you're gonna be like, Luke, what are you talking about? But this dress is a moment. She is method dressing. The thing is, for Oppenheimer, we didn't really get like too much press tour coverage because of the SAG strike, which, you know, I don't blame the actors for that. But looking at this look, it does make me like kind of sad that we didn't really get to see too much of it, because this, I believe, custom Balmain look is hot and sexy. First things first, Oppenheimer is based in the 1940s. It's about the nuclear bomb being developed and tested and things like that. Long story short, from what I've seen on the internet, you know, it's not very historically accurate. There's a lot of people that probably should have been, you know, worked through as characters and the whole thing, but regardless. The thing is, the 1940s, the silhouette that we often really think about is like 1947, the new look, but that's what we associate with the 50s. But the thing is, the 1940s was the era of like Joan Crawford. It was the era of these really sharp, harsh shoulders, these really fitted, beautiful dresses, and that's what Emily Blunt is going for. Like, she is giving you 1940s old Hollywood glamour, and I hate saying old Hollywood glamour. Everybody's always saying, old Hollywood glamour, bleh. And they're like, oh, it's a 1930s dress, you know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. This is silhouette, this is method dressing. She is channeling 1940s like fashion. It's great, it's amazing. I think this minty silk, not my favorite, but it makes sense. I think it works. I think the silk is good. I think the color, it's bright, it's vibrant, it's eye-catching. I love the collar. I love those sort of curved shoulders. Even the drape, I don't really love it, but like, I get it. It definitely does feel very 1940s. I also think for Olivier Rousteing of Balmain, it's really smart, because Balmain is a brand that was around in the 1940s. It was started before Christian Dior ever started. I believe it was like 1943, 1944. Founding date for the new look, like what would he have been designing? Dresses like this, dresses like this. Shout out to Emily Blunt. She's always been my gay icon, but I think she secured herself as a method dressing icon in this moment. Next up, we have Emma Corrin, who is wearing Ralph Lauren. I love the rhyming games going on here. But Emma Corrin as a Ralph Lauren human being is very much so for me. I love this double-breasted little beige suit. I think it's lovely on them. I think it works really well. And I love the fact that it's a short suit. I think it's fun. I think it works perfectly because they were at Wimbledon, and that makes sense. The little shirt with the very, like, in my opinion, 1980s gauche tie, I also think is really cool. And then the little brogy brogue shoes with the little knee-high socks. It's like small British elementary school child uniform, which I love it. I think Emma looks great. I think it's wonderful. I think it's cool. I think it's different for them. I'm sold on it. Next up, we have Florence Pugh, who showed up for Oppenheimer. She was in it, she was on it, and she's wearing Valentino. This is from the most recent Valentino Haute Couture collection, spring 2023. And it's a halter style in a beautiful red with a gorgeous sort of drape situation going on for most of the torso, and then flows into a long gathered skirt. There's cutouts, there's body galore, there is a deep plunge. I think it's nice. Honestly, I think that rarely when you see somebody with a haircut like this, do they go sort of very hyper feminine and things like that. So I think it's a really cool dichotomy to see between Florence, where you have this really sort of beautiful, opulent, regal dress, and then you also have like this sort of little pixie cut, which is really short and sort of defies the gender norm and things like that. I think it's cute. I think it's intriguing. I'm kind of sold on it. Now listen, Margot Robbie did the damn thing when it came to the Barbie press tour, but she had some low-key stiff competition. First up, we're talking about Hari Nef. I mean, like, she's wearing Dilara Findikoglu, and it's amazing. I mean, like, this was the dress, I would say, of last season at London Fashion Week. It's a beautiful black form-fitting corset dress. But the thing is, the body of the dress, the bust, the neck, the hips, has taken antique cutlery, used those to contour the body, and it's amazing. I know people are going to be like, this is so stupid, that's so dumb, it's so ridiculous, but like, that I think is what fashion is about. Like, it's taking things like that and making it, oh my god, I can't believe that I'm looking at that. But at the same time, it's like, you look at the dress, it's beautiful. It's really intriguing. The fact that the knives are not a motif, but like an applique is kind of crazy, because normally somebody would be like, I put knives together on a dress and showed it to you, and I'd be like, you're an idiot. But here, you're in fact not an idiot. You look amazing. There's just something about the way that the knives sit across the waist and the bust and the neck that really like draws you in, and then as they flow down the front in the skirt area, it's nice, it's intriguing, it doesn't take your eye away, or it doesn't make you say this is costumey bullshit. Like, she looks good. The other thing is, if you look at it from the back, you can see that there is a whole lot of corsetage going on, which I also think is really, really amazing. I'm pretty positive that the knives are probably from like a Victorian sort of era. They're made to look like the Victorian era. And then you look at this corseting in the back, and that sort of reminds you of like old school, Gilded Age, Victoriana, Mama, New Bottega, Prada sort of style. And I made up the fact that it's Victoriana, but like, it's hot, it's cool, I'm into it, I'm sold. Parnev killed that. Next up, we have Issa Rae, and again, the Barbies are Barbieing, and she wasn't even at a Barbie premiere for this look, but this is an Alaya dress. It's this beautiful pink. It's honestly, I think, like quintessential Alaya. It's a knitted dress that fits the body. It has this beautiful sort of gathering of this knit, and then it creates these beautiful sort of folds. It's really like, it's lovely. It's beautiful. I love it. I think it's like that perfect quintessential shape. It's that knit that I think Alaya is just so well known for, and at the same time, it has little perforations in the skirt area, which again is a very, very Alaya. I just love it. I think that it looks beautiful. I think the color looks beautiful on her. I think that the silhouette, also like this sort of little baby doll dress, is really cute. I'm sold on it. I really am. Next up, let's talk about Jennifer Lawrence. First up, this dress from the Row. It's, again, asymmetrical. It's her stealth wealth era. I don't really get it for the press tour she was doing, but like, I love it. Regardless, I don't really care. It's a pretty simple sheath dress. It's navy blue, and then the neckline is sort of flapping over, which normally I don't like, but there's just something about the fact that she's doing like stealth wealth for this very rom-com, raunchy movie is making me laugh. Like, there's just something funny about it. I don't think this is the best look ever, but I'm just intrigued by the idea, the concepting for the red carpet. Maybe she just likes to buy the Row, and she's like, I'm gonna wear my own shit. But regardless, the dress is okay. It's not really great. I'm intrigued by the ideas behind it. Next up, we have Kendall Jenner, and like, very rarely am I like, oh my god, Kendall Jenner, I like what you're wearing. But this Bottega Veneta dress is giving Nona, and I am living. The keyhole cutout is fantastic. I mean, the fact that the bodice of the dress is so fitted is ridiculous and amazing. I love the fact that it's sleeveless. I love little side drapes, and the fact that the side drapes turn into these big sort of pouring out of fabric that enhances the hip and makes it much fuller. It just really feels to me very early Prada, like literally 1988 collection Prada, like going full 1940s fascism, you know. And I know people are going to be like, you just watched a Bliss Foster video, and it's like, I did. But also at the same time, like, I've been known about that collection. Miss Prada was like, listen, I want to make clothes that look like what my mother wore during the war. That's what this look gives me. It gives real Italian woman. And I think because the styling is also with this really simple black leather flat shoe, it reads random woman in the 1940s in a random Italian village. And I love it. For her, I love it. For me, I think it's good. You're shocked, I'm shocked. I'm calling Kendall Jenner's outfit good. I would go even far to say great, maybe even amazing. And I'm shocked as well. So we then had Kim Kardashian, Dolce & Gabbana, Alta Moda. It's like bad Elizabeth Taylor. I don't really want to talk about it much. You don't want to talk about it much. Let's move on. We then had Kourtney Kardashian wearing Laquan Smith. This is from a few seasons ago. It's a suede jacket and skirt with a blue shearling detail that goes across it. And I like it. I don't know if I love the styling of it, just with the shoe. I don't know if the shoe choice is the best, but I love that look on the runway, and I like the fact that Kourtney's wearing it and it doesn't have to appear on somebody that literally is a model. I like the look on her. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I think the outfit, it was great to begin with. I think it looks great on her. sold. Next up we have Lisa wearing Danielle Frankel, and she is a Bulgari woman. I don't think it's a great dress. I'm sorry, like I don't think this white silk was the right choice. I think the skirt's decent, but the top is not great. Just because you're doing like a jewelry moment, I don't think that necessarily means that the dress actually has to be not good. There's something off about the fitting of the top and the sleeve. I think there's a way to incorporate the fashion moment to play well with what's going on in the little jewelry department. Again, I just think like you look at Priyanka Chopra, you look at Zendaya, like they are working their looks around the jewelry. And I think it's really, really cool. They're incorporating cool young designers that we all really like and all really want to see supported and doing fashion moments. And I want that for Lisa as well. But like, this is not that. Sorry. She did do a cover for Vogue Australia, which certainly veered away from the Barbie centrism that we were seeing. The cover actually does have her wearing a Balenciaga dress. It's a pretty simple pleated floral motif style. It has big pleated sleeves. It's a pleated skirt. Has a little bit of a pleated drape that runs down from the neck through to the end of the dress. I just wouldn't have chose Balenciaga for the cover. I'm sure that for advertising purposes, they had to hit a certain amount of Balenciaga looks to be showcased for advertising reasons. Again, wouldn't have chose it for Margot Robbie, personally. Next up, we have Nicki Minaj, and she is wearing Alaya. This was for the Barbie press tour, a short form video on, Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, wherever you saw it. I might have said that I like this look. I don't know if I like this look. You know what I mean? Like, you have 60 seconds to say stuff. Sometimes it's not always 100% accurate. Just want to put that out there. It's this knit crop top, which I kind of like. I like the idea of it. I like the texture, the ribbing element. I think that's fun. I think that's different. The draped skirt, though, on Nicki, I just think doesn't work. I get it. Again, it's textural. I'm sure it's trying to work with what's going on up top, but I just think Nicki really doesn't do red carpets anymore. So, like, when you are going to do them, like, you're the Barb. That's your thing. Why not come out and really do it? You're for old time's sake. I also want to like make it very clear, like I'm a Nicki Minaj fan. Like I like the music. I've always loved the music. I just think we should have done something a little bit more intriguing, something a little bit more inspired, something a little bit more exciting, and like it annoys me that we didn't get that. We don't get much Nicki on the red carpet, so when we do this for Barbie, maybe even like a Princess Diana pink moment, reference something recent, something cool, something exciting. I mean, there's also like no way that Alaya wouldn't have done like a custom cool Nicki look either. Like it makes sense, so I don't know why we chose this. Because it's blah, boring, and uninteresting, and I would like for her to serve it up. Poorly dressed people should never laugh. Next up, we have Nicola Coughlan, and she is wearing Vitahoft, and it's a moment. I love this dress. I love that it is dripping in crystals. I love the neckline. I love that square style. It's very Bridgerton. It's very cute. Feels a little Regency referential. I love the sleeves. I love the fact that these crystals run throughout the entirety of the dress, and then honestly, the skirt I think fits beautifully. It really subtly sort of comes in at the waist and then flows back out. It's a lovely shape on her. I think the colors are gorgeous. They're pale, they're minty, they're fresh. It's stunning. I also love the fact that Nicola Coughlan is working with a younger brand like Vitahoft, who is a New York extraordinaire. I love the work. I love this dress. I think she looks amazing. Nicola Coughlan really can't be touched fashion-wise because like she does it, always. Next up, we have Olivia Rodrigo on the cover of Vogue. I hate it. I hate it so much. And I really hate it only because, like, she dropped this music. It's called Vampire. It's like Bloodsucker. And honestly, like, the marketing for it was cool. The promotion for it was great. It's just, the Vogue cover is so far from the idea of, like, vampire that it makes me angry and upset. She's wearing this Emporio Armani dress, which, like, I don't love. I get it. It's full of paillettes in a sort of reflective clear. There's a little black floral faux corsage situation sitting at the neck, and you have this placket of buttons that run down the front. It's blah. It's uninteresting. It's a cocktail dress that's shiny. I don't really get the background of what that has to do with the Emporio Armani dress. I just like, I don't get it. And I just feel like we should have played into like the vampire thing, you know what I mean? Like you just had Margot Robbie, she did the Barbie movie, it was a whole concept, it was cool, it was fun, it was exciting. I was like, oh yeah, Vogue, like come on, we got it. And then we get this. Part of it, honestly, I'm gonna blame on Olivia Rodrigo because like, I don't think she cares, I don't think she wants it, I don't think she gets it, but like that upsets me. So you know what I mean? Like don't do the Vogue cover if you don't want to be a fashion girl. I don't know, do Forbes, do Time, do something else. But like the Vogue cover in that, it's not clicking for me. I'm not picking up what we're putting down here. And again, I just think it's like a wasted opportunity to do something that's like really fun and vampy and cool and Elvira-esque and like it just would be great. You know what I mean? Like, go Morticia Addams fully. Do it. Do the glamour. Next up, we have Pom Klementieff. This Loewe look, it's cute, it's fun. She is promoting Mission Impossible. I don't know if you guys saw that interview that she did where she was being told what to say about like her dead dog and the millennials beating it with the phone. Like, it's amazing. I've seen Pom around doing stuff, but like when I saw that interview, I was like, oh no, we have to discuss because she's an icon. This Loewe dress, I really love it because what it's certainly meant to be, and I know it looks really, really simple, the neckline I'm really not obsessed with, but the hem of the dress obviously is meant to play on this idea of like animal pelts, and so that's why it looks and is cut and curved like that, but it also, if we zoom in a little bit, we can see it's kind of fuzzy because it's meant to look like an animal pelt, like a shaved animal pelt, because that's what Jonathan Anderson was referencing, I don't think last season, but the season before, maybe the season before that. I like the fact that we're seeing a little bit more of like a commercial version of that dress, but it still has the weird, wacky, avant-garde elements of Loewe in it. I'm a fan. Pom knows what she's doing. We then had Ryan Gosling, who honestly did a pretty good job Barbie-fying himself for the Barbie press tour. I mean, this pink Gucci look is great. I love it. I like the matching suit. I think it's lovely. I think the pink works. I like the fact that he's still playing into this idea of Barbie and colorful and bright and Ken. It's still sort of classic menswear. It's a simple suit. It has a nice pant crease. I think the jacket fits well. I like the light pink shirt. I like that it's open to the length that it's open. The white shoe, again, I think plays off of everything well, and it shows that men can wear a white shoe. It's not really that big of an issue. So, very proud of Ryan Gosling. Next up, we have to watch out for Selena because she is wearing Bottega Veneta. I love this dress. This is from maybe the most recent Bottega collection. Maybe it's the collection before. I'm not exactly sure. But it's a leather cocktail dress, strapless, super fun. But the great thing about Mathieu Blazy is he did these laser cuttings on this piece of leather that became the dress. But the thing is, the laser cuts were done in the style of these sort of floral shapes. And so then what he also did is he took some pieces of leather and then put them on top of the cutout area so it looks like the actual fabric flower is falling out of the dress, and they all have these really cool little leather stems that are long and sort of flow too, and it gives like a fringe falling effect. It's really interesting. It's really intriguing. There was matching gloves, but I think maybe that would be a little bit too fashion for Selena Gomez. And Selena Gomez tries. She is a fashion girly, I would say. I appreciate this moment. I think it's fun. I think it's different. I like the shoe. I think it's cool. I like the fact that they match somewhat. There's that red pop at the bottom. I'm very proud of Selena Gomez in this moment. Next up, we have Simu Liu, and he is wearing Versace. Again, he was doing his Ken moment, this blue suit. I like it, kind of. I don't love the fit of the pant. I really don't. I don't love the black shoe, because again, I just think it's like, you are Ken-enough, but you are not Ken-enough without wearing the white shoe. Personally, I just think the white shoe makes sense. I think the black shoe throws off the rest of the look. I do like the little bondage going on underneath that little sort of waist belt situation. It's cool, it's different. I don't really love it all that much in terms of like actually aesthetically pleasing, but I like it in the fact that he did it. He's trying. Simu Liu, he tries. The pants, again, don't fit great. The shoe, I don't really love. In total, I don't really love the look, but I like the fact that he's working on it. He's attempting. That is good enough for me. Next up, we have Sonam Kapoor, and she's wearing Burberry. This is from the Resort Burberry collection, I believe. And it's this honestly really beautiful grid motif that Daniel Lee dreamed up, but then he sort of like blew it up and distorted it so it's wavy and it's cool. And I think that's the way to work on Burberry. Like, I think he's really, really smart in the manner that he's really trying to make it intriguing, trying to make it different, trying to play on these traditional sort of British house codes, but trying to give them a little bit of a new life, something cool. I like it in this sort of little green moment. I like the boot that matches. I like the bag. Like, I like it all. I like it all. I'm very proud of Sonam Kapoor too for just going for it and doing the Burberryification of the moment. I'm into it. Next up, we have Troye Sivan, who is wearing Rabanne. I believe that he wore this in the Rush music video. It's a Paco Rabanne dress. I'm sorry, Rabanne dress. I loves it. I loves it so much. I think the fact that it's actually like a fabric up top, or at least it looks like a fabric, it's almost like a crop top sort of element, and then slowly these grommets that also sometimes have little pieces of leather wrapped around them, or they've been put onto the leather, they've been bound into the leather. That's what begins this sort of chainmail effect, which is what we expect from Paco Rabanne. And I like the fact that it migrates down. I like the fact that he wore it with the boot. It feels very Fire Island, very Circuit Queen kind of vibe, but it looks good on him. You know, he's also a twing, so like there's a built-in element there. But regardless, I like it. I think it's fun. I feel the rush, all that jazz. But that is the end of this July 2023 fashion roast. So let's talk about the best and worst. Best, I'm gonna give it to Alexandra Daddrio, Emily Blunt, and that Balmain. That was a moment. Very proud. Emma Corrin, Ralph Lauren. Issa Rae, Hari Nef. Yeah, Hari Nef. Kendall Jenner in that Bottega. Nicola Coughlin in the Wiederhof. Ryan Gosling I'll put on there. Selena Gomez. As for worst, Olivia Rodrigo, that Vogue cover. Sorry, not sorry. It's just the reality of the situation. Lisa, yeah, I'm sorry about that. La Lisa, I stand you, Miss Manobam, but no. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please let me know what some of your favorite or least favorite looks were, and I will see you guys in the next video. So, TTYL.